Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are looking at the Yu Hakusho Yusuke Urameshi. This figure is made by One Shot Toys. It's a new company from my understanding. Reminds me a lot of Dawson Model. I'm not sure if it's a rebranding or not, but it's pretty similar. It's a third-party company, so it's not an official figure, but I was pretty happy they made one because I've been a fan of Yu Hakusho for a couple of years, and they finally made a 1/12 figure for him. And it's an awesome addition to my collection. Anyways, let's take a look at him. So, out of the box, no huge problems with the figure. His toe joint was stuck. He has toe joints like the SH Figure Arts figures, and I put some hot water on it and then got it loose, and it came unstuck, and it works perfectly fine now. All the joints are nice and tight, and figure's been great so far. So let's take a look at accessories. So in the box, this is what it looks like. Figure goes in the middle. I have some parts swapped out already, so it's not exactly how it is, but for the most part it is. Figure's missing. Here, we would normally have the smiley face, but we have the default two faces. I can show you guys a closer look at the accessories in a bit, but this will be our look at the hands. So we have two display open hands, two clenching hands, one finger gun for his spirit gun, and one holding hand for his bag. For that one holding hand, I really wish they made two holding hands, but I guess he only really needs one for this, but it's always nice to have holding hands. Then here he has some relaxed hands, and he comes with two, but right now I have his fist swapped out. So I have one fist here and another fist down here. And let's take a look at his accessories now out of the box. First off, we'll look at his briefcase. It has some surprisingly nice weight to it. It's not light, or it's fairly light, but it has some decent weight. Buckles are all painted really nice. It's a fairly plain briefcase, but it works. And next, we'll look at his spirit animal. Oops, dropped it. Poo. Paint details are nice, and he has that very derpy look, but that's how he looks in the show if you're familiar with the show. And underneath, if you're curious, it's somewhat hollow. They have that there, and they have those lines there to kind of match it up with his head, because you're able to balance it on his head like that with his hair not on straight. Let's see if I can, or his head not on straight. Yeah, he still fits up there, and you can take some funny photos with him. Really awesome that he came with that. For now, we'll put him up there. Really small guy. Yeah. Next, we can take a look at the faces. So this is the default face, what comes out of the box right here. This is just a neutral face, sort of angry, but that's just kind of how Yusuke looks. Eyes are looking pretty straight. They're big, but that's how the style is in the show. Yeah, very nice. Next is his teeth graded face. Again, looks good. Awesome that they give this for those action poses and stuff. And here's the face I have on him. What's probably my favorite face. It is his smiling face, and he's looking to the side, which I don't mind. And you can do some cool photos. Like, I like how this pose looks with him. Yeah. Next off, we can take a look at the figure. So it's all cloth clothing. No problems with it so far. buckles are nice. He has a belt on, white shirt underneath, and sometimes you have like little hanging strings off his clothes, and so far he hasn't had anything like that. Shirt opens up. If you have his arms splayed out, it can pull it back a bit, and you could pose it up. No wire, but it holds its poses pretty good. Yeah. The shirt itself, or I guess kind of his school jacket has magnets in it, so if you match it up, it does close, which is pretty awesome. Looks like there's about 3 magnets inside. 1, 2, 3, yeah. So you can line them up, and it will close very nicely. But with his arms up and the jacket being pulled a little bit, it's a little difficult to line them all up perfectly. But yeah, you could get it, and it closes nicely. Figure does have pockets, but it's hard to fit a whole hand in there. It's easier to take off the hand from the joint and just stick it in his pocket like I have right here. And that looks pretty good. Yeah. So next off, we could do some size comparisons. So Yusuke's height in the show is supposed to be around 5'8", and we have him here at around 6 inches tall. So it's a 1/12 figure, maybe slightly shorter. He's about almost exactly 6 inches, maybe slightly under, or maybe, oh, he is slightly under actually. I don't know. I was looking at the camera and it looked different, but when I put it behind him, you could see he's almost 6 inches. So either he's supposed to be 1/12 scale, but he's 6 inches, and see how it compares to other figures. So if I can recall, Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen, he's also 5'8". Proportions are a bit different for the show's different styles, but they are roughly the same height. Maybe Itadori is slightly shorter, and his head's a lot smaller, but they both fit the style of their show. And yeah, so I guess they got the scaling pretty good with that figure. Let's look at Naruto. Naruto is 5'4", I believe, maybe 5'5", and them next to each other, say that works. This is the best selection Naruto from the SH Figure Arts line, if you were gonna ask. Dragon Ball figures are pretty short. Goku's supposed to be around 5'8", or 5'9". So next week, I think he's like 5'9" or taller in more recent showings of him. They make him look taller. But you could say he's 5'9", so compared to Yusuke here, he is slightly shorter, and that just goes to show that the Dragon Ball line scales a little bit shorter. Now comparing to some, I can show off one or two more right here. We got the amazing Yamaguchi Bakugo. Bakugo is probably also 5'7" or 5'8". I'm not too sure, I didn't look it up, but if Bakugo was standing Bakugo was standing straight, they would be roughly the same height, or Bakugo might be a little bit shorter. But in terms of our overall scale, I'd say these two would work fairly well. And Bakugo's on a stand as well. Then I have the Mafex Into the Spider-Verse Peter B. Parker. Shortest Spider-Man has ever been is probably, well, he could be shorter. Like this version of Peter B. Parker is probably 5'8" to 6'1", somewhere there. I didn't look it up, but Tom Holland's like 5'7", 5'8", and Tobey Maguire's like 5'8". So comparing it to like movie adult Spider-Man, it's about how tall they are. So it works for an adult and a kid, and he could be a little bit taller, and you could mesh them together if you want. Here I have the Sentinel Toys Into the Spider-Verse Miles on his Sentinel stand. So Miles is a bit of a smaller character. If you don't have this figure and have the Mafex one, they're around the same height. I have the Figure Fix neck peg on him. It's kind of hard to tell right now with the jacket on. And that can work. Maybe Miles is a little bit smaller than maybe he should be. He's like at least 15 or 14-year-old kid. And Yusuke can be a little bit older. Yeah. But you could do stuff if you really wanted to. And compared to some live action, let's look here. I have the World War II SH Figure Arts Wonder Woman. There we go. She's balancing now. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, they look good together. Then we got the Mafex Infinity War Thor. So Thor's like supposed to be like, I don't know, 6'1" to 6'3" or something like that. You could say 6 foot. So maybe Yusuke's a little bit too tall, but most likely, unless I don't know what kind of pictures you're doing, you might not mix the those kind of lines together. But these size comparisons are for people who own these figures. Like, say, oh, I have the Mark 7 Iron Man. Let's see about how tall he is to get a idea of how tall he is. Yeah. So, and also Iron Man and Yusuke, I guess you could take pictures and it would work out pretty well because you don't see Iron Man's face unless you have an unmasked head on him. Here we have the Mezco Vapor with my custom head on it of me. And Mezco scales a little bit bigger, but this is kind of like kid size, so it works. Yeah, you could put him in with Mezco stuff, match the cloth goods. It's a little bit taller, but overall it works. I have the Infinity War Mafex Captain America with the maniple head. Excuse me. Works good, I guess. And I wouldn't really like to mix too much live action with this, but for a figure like, I guess, Hulk here, if you wanted to put them together, Big Monster versus Yusuke, that would probably work, in my opinion. And I think Hulk really fits in both can fit in both comic or anime or live action. Just works, in my opinion. And who else do we have? Have a Stormtrooper. Again, I think if you are going to bring live action figures into crossovers, mask characters work best, and they're about the same height. So yeah, if you want to have clone trooper goons kind of, and want to have Yusuke fight him off, this works. Yeah, so for size comparisons, that's all we have. And one thing I think I forgot to show off would be his spirit gun. Yeah, looks pretty good. And that reminds me of another thing I forgot to show off. So he comes with a stand. So stand has a silhouette of Yusuke, similar to the box. The box on the front has the same photo, and I guess I could show off the box too. So here's the box, front of it, back of it. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to show off the boxes or if people are interested in seeing the box as well. I know most of the box pictures are all online, so I'm not really sure if you need to see it on video. Yeah, so it has the spirit gun. Spirit gun has a hole in it, so you have these kind of knockoff SH figure art stands, so you can have the spirit gun in there, and then you could have the finger gun. You could shoot it out, and it comes with 2 of these stands, so you could pose them with the clamp, what looks like the figure arts clamp, but these are a bit shorter, and you could pose them jumping and then shooting this. So yeah, last thing comes with is 2 bags. So you could put like all the hands in here, put the faces and accessories in here, and put them all together. So that's kind of how I keep all my figure parts, if anyone's curious. I just have a whole bunch of plastic bags, so I guess it's really nice when it just comes with it, and that's how my parts are gonna go, in the bag. So yeah, overall, I give this figure a pretty great score. At first, I thought he was a little bit too tall comparing to Goku, but comparing to Yuji, seeing they're about the same height, and comparing to Naruto, knowing Naruto's a bit shorter. I also thought Yusuke was a bit shorter, but if I look it up, he says he's 5'8", so scale works for me pretty well. Just Dragon Ball figures are overall pretty much shorter, but if you have Goku in the back and he's like doing a pose other than just standing, if he's punching or something, you could mix and match those as well if you like. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Let me know if you what figures you're looking forward to, and if you are looking to pick up this line. Again, I got this from Ageless Geeks. I believe they're all out of stock now, and I paid around $100 for them from Ageless Geeks. I think it's a bit cheaper on Omni Store or 5K Toys, but pre-orders aren't being totally fulfilled on those sites right now because the demand for this figure was a lot higher than the company anticipated. So they are making more figures to fulfill all their orders, and then hopefully in the future they'll reopen the pre-orders, and those who haven't pre-ordered it can either do so or hope to pick it up later. Yeah. And other than that, that's pretty much it. They will be making more figures, and hopefully they make like a Hide and Kuwabara. Those are probably two of my favorites from the series. What I would really like to see. Catch you guys later.